honest. Let's be honest. I'm talking to the boys now. We are all taught from a young age. The idea is your goal in life is to build wealth, and then girls, you've been told, you have to manage it. Happy wife, happy life, apparently. This, in turn, leads to a confidence gap in financial decision making, which is why I would contend we're still dealing with this wage gap, this payment gap in our country. But someone is taking this head on, tackling it head on. Taryn Sharman is the founder of an organization called the Brave Collective, a woman-led empowerment platform trying to break the realities, the real everyday realities that women are facing. Just because we're equalizing doesn't mean things are easier. I would suggest it's actually even worse. There's barriers to credit. There are barriers to entry. Investment platforms do not exist. And what about business funding? How do you create a business if you can't get the funding? Well, thankfully, Taryn has made some time to actually come in and talk to us as well. Taryn, wonderful to have you on the show as well. And so I've got the Brave Binder with us. But before we get to this, how is it possible that in 2025 we still have South African women earning 30% less than their male counterparts? That's a horrifying stat.
Let me give you another horrifying stat.
Yeah.
South African women were only able to open their own bank account without a male counterpart, or a dad or a husband, in 1995.
It's not that long ago.
That was just yesterday. And so we have leapt phenomenal bounds as South African women in order to close this gap. So there is another stat that says 47% of South African women have opened their own businesses to try and close that financial gap. But yes, the stats are astounding. We're in 2025 and we have a long way to go. By 2030, the US say that there will be $30 trillion in the hands of women. And yet, we are still to find investment platforms that are geared for us, financial advisors who have us in mind, and even financial products that are geared for women.
Is this for no other reason other than you're a woman?
Correct. It's a legacy thing. So exactly as you said in your introduction, men were raised to create wealth and women were raised to manage it. Yeah. And so we are trying to close that gap by saying, women, you need to create your own wealth. Not only manage it, but manifest it, make it, create it, and hand it over to the next generation.
I suppose one would be watching at home, looking at this going, that sounds great.
Yes.
How?
Yes. So we have all the tools and platforms available at our disposal. So from all the way from education, so I use a platform called Worth Financial Education. Everything you need to know about how to invest, where to start, what to do with your debt, what to do with your savings, and how to invest, those platforms exist. Easy entry platforms like Easy Equities, as an example. They will teach you how to invest, and then you can go all the way to your financial advisors who will teach you what to do. So it's all there. It's just a case of there's a legacy, and then there's the emotional component to wealth, and I think that often gets neglected. So in the Brave Collective, we tackle it in three ways. One, there's your self-worth.
Yes.
Then it's inextricably linked to your net worth. So we figure out your net worth. I had to think about that for a second.
Yes. I was like, self-worth, net worth. It took me a moment, sorry.
Yes, but there's this link between how you feel about yourself and how you feel about money generally works out to how much money you have, and then how to do it with a community of like-minded people. And so we're combining those three factors, putting them into one platform, whether it be digital or physical, and then combining that to show people where the journey takes you.
There's a fear factor, though, and I'll tell you why I bring it up.
Yes.
Because I open it up. There it is. The Brave Binder. I'm on page 1, chapter 1. Here I got a fear check-in. And this is the one that stood out for me, Taryn. So tell me how I'm supposed to interpret this. If I start, I'll have to finish, and I can't handle one more thing. Let's be honest. Women do more at home than men are forced to do, because we never had to do that. So you have to run a household. There's perhaps children, not to be sexist, but there is the reality. And now you're trying to run a business and be as successful as a man. The odds are stacked against you.
It is. But I think, and this is what the Brave Binder does, I think if we tackle our fears head on, which is something I'm really passionate about, I have the misfortune of my dad died when I was 7, and this is how the story started. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to have a mom and a family who had a Brave binder. And it was a checklist of things that we need to have. So one of the other fears is, let's not talk about death because it will bring it on. But we need to talk about death. You have to have a will.
Everyone does.
You've got to have guardianship of your children. And so if those things aren't in place, don't worry about whether you're making money, managing money, have no money. When that eventuality happens, it's an absolute disaster. And I have seen it and witnessed it firsthand. And for many other, the story is the same across the board. And so when we take control of that and take control of our fears, I think we overcome things bigger than what you can see than what's just in a checklist.
And I want to talk about this checklist, but there's way too much to go through everything today. So I want you to give me one or two key takeaways that if I've never seen this before, which I haven't before today, you give me one or two things, Taryn, that I must take away from this, someone at home that you have encountered time and time again, maybe a cliche or a stereotype that you know now to be wrong, but you've addressed here. What are those?
I think number one is getting your house in order. You have to have a will. Start there. Just create a will. I've got nothing to put in my will. Of course you do. Just start there. I think starting is one of the other things I would say. People say, I don't have any money to start with. Just start. Whether it's 500 Rand, 200 Rand, just start. I think fear gets eliminated when you put it into action. So when you say, I am afraid of money, that's number one. And number two is doing something about it. I'm going to write a will. I'm going to save 200 Rand. Those are probably the things that if I could just instill in everybody is to say, just start. Just start.
Yeah, 20-year ago, Taryn, redo. Mulligan.
Exactly. 20 years ago, if I had just known just to start and address the fears, and then suddenly they're not so big. I always say in these big Brave Collective events, we had our 7th last week, and I say, if you bring your fear out into the light, it doesn't look so scary. If you talk about it, it suddenly minimizes itself. And if you talk about it with other people, you'll see they have the same fear as you do.
You're not alone.
No.
You'd be amazed.
Yeah. And so those are the things that we bring out on the Brave Collective. You'll see it on our platform. We talk about it all the time. We give you the actual practical tools to address those fears. Yeah.
Where do I send people? Because I know I'm going to get inundated on X, me and both my followers on X. They're going to ask me, Gareth, where do I find this? Where am I sending people? Websites?
Yes, so our website is bravecollective.co.za. You will find the binder there and you can download it. Yep. On any of our socials, on Instagram, on X, me and my two friends too, on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And all of those tools are available for you to download.
You got an event coming up sometime soon?
We had our event. It was our biggest event last week. We had 440 women in the room. Lyra was with us. She also shared her fears. Can you believe that Lyra has a fear?
She's very open about that.
Yes. And it was very empowering, exactly that, to share, to say, she too has fears.
So nothing planned for the next one right now.
No.
But when you do, you're going to come back and chat to me. We're going to make sure we send people the right direction. Taryn, thank you very, very much.
You,
I'm not sure if the suit and the binder were, by accident, but it seems to have worked for it, doesn't it? It looks lovely. Taryn Sharman, thank you very much. Stay for me, seated for a moment. Founder of the Brave Collection, the Brave Binder. Go look for it as well. If you missed the website, bravecollection.co.za. As we head up to 10 minutes away from 4 o'clock, I want to quickly go back to Maponya Mall in Soweto. Relative calm, I'm hearing from our reporters. Remember, there was violence overnight. E-hailing drivers were attacked. Then we had taxi drivers reciprocating, and then we had vehicles set on fire. VOM Tila, you just arrived out in Pimville for me. Let's quickly come to you. What is it looking like at the moment? Has it calmed down, or are police still